Thank you for joining me for another episode of Ghosts of England. Today we check out 12 real ghost reports from the county of Sussex. Number 1. Party. A house in Arlington has had reports coming from neighbouring houses, saying that they could hear noises of a party in full swing coming from this house. Though when questioned, the owners of the property claim that the house was empty at the time in question. But as well, the owners have made reports of hearing people arguing from a nearby stream. But when they check the area out, no one can be seen. Number 2. The Odd Woman. Several witnesses walking down Arendelle Road came across an odd woman standing by a street sign. She wore a pale coat and had a very scary smile on her face. Several of the witnesses expressed concern about the woman and the strange manner in which she stood. They called the police as they were worried that the woman was an escaped hospital patient. But when the police arrived shortly later, no one could be found. Number 3. Arendelle Castle. Arendelle Castle is over 1,000 years old, and with its age, you'd expect a few ghosts to be hanging around. A blue man has been seen on numerous occasions by different witnesses. The man is seen to be reading a book, while the spirit of a young girl has been seen fleeing towards the towers. And perhaps the craziest report is from people claiming to have heard cannonballs hitting against the walls of the castle, even feeling the ground beneath them shaking along with the noise. But of course, when investigated, no damage can be found. Number 4. The Poltergeist of Norfolk Arms Hotel. The Norfolk Arms Hotel has had a few reports of poltergeist activity. Many people have witnessed in the kitchens items being thrown off work surfaces, and drawers have started rattling all by themselves, while others have reported experiencing their lights being turned on and off. Some people have also reported seeing a half-naked man running around the building. So yeah, if half-naked men are what you're into, go check out this place. Number 5. Floating Old Man. Since the 1940s, at the crossroads known as Buck Barn, located in Billinghurst, there have been many sightings of an old man that looks possibly homeless, that sits on a milestone by the crossroad. He will float into oncoming traffic, but once the vehicle has stopped, the man completely disappears. Number 6. Tugging. Back in April of 2005, 3 witnesses walking through the graveyard at Broadwater Church in Worthing experienced the sensation of someone tugging on their clothes from behind them, but obviously no one could be seen. 2 out of the 3 even go on to say that they felt nauseous and had to quickly leave the area. It's not beyond belief that the experience was due to a spirit that was trying to get their attention, but for what cause, no one will really know. Number 7. Tapping. Reports coming in from the early 2000s come in from an insurance company on Hea Road in Worthing. Down in the basement of the property, members of staff have experienced feeling someone tapping on their shoulder as to get their attention. But once they turn around, they soon discover that they are alone in the basement, which for most would send a bone-chilling shiver down their spine. Me, I'd run out of that basement screaming. However, other members of staff have heard someone shouting out their name, but again they find that they are completely alone. Number 8. Screaming Women. The Tangmere Military Aviation Museum is frequently visited by the spirits of screaming women. The history behind this ghostly apparition is that the women in life were killed by a bomb during World War II, so you can only imagine the terror anyone would feel if they were to witness this terrifying event. Number 9. Red Lights. Orbs are always a ghost fan favourite. In October of 2007, over the skies of Uckfield, a group of witnesses watched as around 60 red lights flew around in close formation, before eventually flying away. Number 10. Saxon Warrior. In areas around Washington, there is an old report of multiple sightings of a wandering Saxon warrior that would walk around the streets and fields. The local legend says that the sighting stopped once a large hoard of Saxon gold was unearthed by a farmer and taken away from the area. Perhaps the spirit was guarding the gold and followed it to its new location. Number 11. George and Abby. This is a rather fascinating report from a house in West Broughton. The parents thought that their child had 2 imaginary friends called George and Abby, but when odd events started going on throughout the house with disembodied footsteps and the visitation of an elderly woman dressed in black, the parents eventually thought there was something supernatural at work. An exorcism was eventually performed on the house, and the strange activities ceased. The parents made contact with the previous owners of the house, which confirmed strange activities used to frequent them too when they lived there. And finally for this episode, number 12. The Mad Monk. This monk is locally known as the Goblin Monk, due to the otherworldly noises he makes. In life, the monk went mad after being bricked up alive for trying to elope. His demented screams and howls can be heard along Turkey Cock Lane in Rye. But to be fair, if I was bricked up alive, I'd definitely go more than slightly a little bit mad. This is very much a terrifying dream I had once. That's it for this episode. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. If you liked the video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe.